Rise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for the second episode of Ruination. Ruination is our post-apocalyptic Mutant Year Zero West Marches campaign that is open to our Twitch subscribers and our patrons. If you guys want to be part of that, go check us out on Patreon. That's probably the best way to support the channel. Everyone there gets an opportunity to make a character. If you're subbed on both of them, you get 2 characters. If you're subbed higher, you get to make all kinds of NPCs and all kinds of fun shit like that. This is the second episode of our West Marches games. We have a rotating cast of players, characters, all kinds of fun things like that. You guys choose your missions in the Discord. We have a little RP server going in there. So this is the first time we're going to see these characters in action. So we have with us John, we have James, we have Brahms, we have Bill going to jump in with their new characters for their first time. We're going to roll their mutations today. We're going to see how they interact, and we're going to see if we can kill them. Make them live. Make them live to the end.
Define kill.
Well, I mean, it's not that hard to define it for you guys. The dog might make it back.
Good.
So
it won't.
It won't. That's right. If John has seen me kill anything, it's dogs in this channel. So
Mr. Coffee lived.
Where was Mr. Coffee from?
He was Rufus's dog.
Oh, right.
He was the super corgi.
Right, the super corgi. That's right. Yeah, so you guys have chosen your mission, which, for the viewers here, what is the mission you've chosen? Where are you guys going today?
Riven, I'll let you answer that since you chose the mission.
We're going
to for a chronicler to say something.
Yeah, we're going to go see if we can find out what this whole thing is about metal men being out in the zone, and what they were, and what were the name of the progenitors? Is it the
Ancients?
If the ancient anything that the ancients had left behind in that location.
Yeah. You guys heard a rumor. While in the zone, a mutant found an ancient battlefield. The location showed extensive signs of damage, and that while there were many skeletons of fallen ancients, the witness also claimed to have seen dead metal men there too. It was impossible to say who, if any, won the battle, as everything there was damaged or destroyed. So you guys are headed to the southwest to see if you can discover where these metal men might be. So it is dawn of the new day. It has been 1 week since the last party had gone out. They had caused quite a kerfuffle as they returned with a full tank of water in a vehicle that was running, so something you guys have never seen before, roared into existence here. You know that Hammurabi has taken to be very defensive about this new, I think he's calling it a battle tank, is what he decided to name it, for battle and the giant tank on the back of it. But in finding that, they also found a fresh source of water, if you guys can claim it from the zone ghouls. That being said, it is dawn on the new day. You guys are preparing to leave, but I need a volunteer. So who among you would like to volunteer? Just a simple dice roll. Anyone?
I will.
You will, John? Go right ahead. Roll me a d6.
A d6.
Just a d6.
All right.
See what happens today. A 4. Okay, so in the week since the water has returned to the Ark, 4 mutants have died.
What?
That is the session death count. 4 mutants of the, I believe, 200 have died. So what that means is I now go to the Ark and I reduce the populace by 4. Needless to say, that continues to happen until you guys find food, sufficient food, and water. But you guys have your own unique mission. Selfish, maybe? Who knows? To head southwest to find these metal men. Gathered at the gate are the 4 of you, so please describe who you are, and once you're finished with your description, you can go ahead and roll the mutation for your character.
All right, I'll start.
Yeah.
So Hector is a rather large fellow standing over 7 feet tall. If you look him in the eyes, his eyes are just dead. He doesn't have any hair. There's a few scruff marks there. There is he does wear a hockey mask. The hockey mask actually has large claw marks actually ripped out of the facial part that you can see actually go down his neck and chest as well. He generally wears old coveralls with the old logging guards on them that you used to use to like protect your legs when you're using a chainsaw and stuff, and a plaid or flannel jacket, whichever you prefer.
Okay.
And big hulking old steel-toed work boots. He also carries about a 9-foot tall axe that seems to be built together out of old road signs and ship parts.
Okay, and ship parts. Interesting. We'll figure out how you get those. Go ahead and roll me your mutation. Let's see what you have.
Da-da-da-da. Ooh,
You have insect wings,
not what I was
those are
expecting.
some large wings.
right?
This should be interesting.
So if you look inside the journal, you can see under mutations what exactly your insect wings do for you, which are you can fly up to 100 feet. You can fly up to an enemy in short range and fight them in the same turn, or you can create an intense buzzing noise that drives people up the walls. That being said, wow, those are some massive wings. Who wants to introduce their character next?
I'll go.
For it.
So Riven is a chronicler, incredibly thin, emaciated, almost skeletal figure. Has basically all you see is like he has a face mask on, and you just see the it's like a red kind of goggle that he has over his eyes. And then occasionally, the only thing you see here is basically a mouth and jagged, pointed teeth. And he sort of speaks in a hiss, kind of like this. And so it's just very guttural. But you don't see any skin. Everything is wrapped, almost as if a mummy. He was a mummy. Come to life, and he always has a journal with him, always, constantly writing, constantly scritching in it, sometimes even semi-ignoring things going on just to write something down that he might have going on in his head.
Okay, interesting. Now you are a member of the faction, the Brotherhood of the New Dawn. What? Are you taking the option to have 2 mutations? The Herald of the New Dawn, sorry.
I sure as hell will.
Okay.
Why not?
So roll that mutation, the first one. You gain human plant, which is exciting. Now, to gain your secondary mutation, you need to reduce one of your attributes by 1.
Okay. So, you know what? Screw it. I will reduce strength by 1, having a 1 strength.
Okay. And roll the second mutation.
Man beast.
Man beast. Wow. Okay. So you are a plant man beast.
Man
Okay.
beast.
So
Like a Venus
human
flytrap.
plant allows you to literally get nourishment from the sun. You can also make your body covered in sharp thorns, and you can use your bark-like skin to absorb damage. Man beast, on the other hand, you now have fangs and claws and can attack with those. You can roar, causing fear, essentially. And when you are broken by damage or fatigue, you can still get up. You have to spend MP to do so. So you are, for a tiny, frail person, you are low-key a beast.
Also, one thing I should mention about it's kind of interesting that I got the man beast and the pointed teeth and everything in the description for that, but the one thing I will say is what you see is it's almost like his lips are peeled back, and it's really kind of almost decaying. You can see under just the bit of lip that is visible in the rags. So you probably don't want to be peeling back the rags to see what Riven actually looks like.
Gross. Okay. Dope. Who is the next person who's standing here waiting? Go for it.
Garrett is very thin, not as thin as Riven, but you can tell there is some malnourishment. And he's also extremely small, very diminutive. He wears very messy sweatpants, a hooded combo like this, as well as with a jacket, and he is very protective. You do not see his face, or especially not the left side of his face.
Okay.
He speaks with a stutter. This happened years ago. We don't really know what happened, except he went out on patrol. However, the part that you also see, what does not leave his side, is a massive, vicious, almost man-sized black dog that he lovingly refers to as Mac.
Okay. His companion. Roll me that mutation.
And it's 1d200, right?
Just click on the mutate button.
Oh, right.
You have extreme reflexes, which is actually super convenient for you. You can basically spend MP to gain faster initiative. You can shoot or fight someone a second time in combat if you spend things, or you can also dodge in combat by spending MP. And everyone has 1 MP to start with, except for Riven, who has 2. And then last but not least, John, who are you playing and what does he look like?
Yeah, I am playing Kotan. He's a member of the Brotherhood of the Signal. And the first thing that you notice, he's completely clad in all black. Deep hood over his face. You can't even tell what his face even looks like. But underneath that cloak, he is bone thin and frail. Like, he's... To people, it would probably be a miracle that he's still alive. Mm-hmm. And his body is dark red with tendrils coming off of his face.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is his mutation?
Well, let us find out.
You are an amphibian.
Okay.
Dope. Okay, so you can breathe underwater for a few minutes. You can use your slippery scales to absorb damage, and you can bite an enemy at arm's length with your numerous, small, and very sharp teeth. So there's your weapon right there. Your mouth. Your disgusting reptile mouth. Fantastic. So this amalgam of 4 adventurers stands at the gate, which has been opened for you. There are 2 stalkers atop the gates, each with scrap rifles in hands. The zone beckons you forward. What are the 4 of you doing? Where are you going? And how are you getting there?
Hector first actually stops and stares at Garrett for a few minutes and looks down. Mr. Garrett, long see. Good, Mr. Garrett. And he just picks him up in like a big bear hug. I miss Mr. Garrett. Mr. Garrett needs food.
Hector. Hello.
He sits Garrett back down. Mr. Garrett has Doug. I can't reach Doug.
Yes, Mac.
And as you're saying that, Mac is barking like a savage beast. He's not attacking you, but he is not happy. No.
Hector's trying to pet the dog, but he's too tall. He can't reach the dog.
Mm-hmm. So, sorry, Mac doesn't like strangers. Mac, okay.
And he's furiously petting Mac to calm him down.
Hi, Mac.
To ensure that you don't get eaten. That's awesome. So the other 2 of you, Riven and Kotan, you see this exchange happening. What are you 2 doing? Now, granted, in the Ark, as I said, there was only 200 people or so, and now there's 196. But you all are familiar with each other. You probably know each other at least by appearance, if not by name, especially if you are in the same faction, which unfortunately none of you are. So you're familiar with each other in that kind of sense, right? No one here is a stranger. So you've seen Hector and his giant form. You've seen Garrett and his massive dog. But you see this strange exchange. What are you 2 doing?
Oh, Riven's not paying attention. He's too busy writing. He's walking and writing as he's, chronicling, doing his job.
Yep. Perfect.
It's like walked 10 feet, walked another 10 feet.
And then writes, and then moves 10 feet and writes.
Yeah, exactly.
I dig it. And John, what is Kotan doing?
I think Kotan's that kind of creepy dude in the robes who just appears right behind Riven, like kind of looking over his shoulder, kind of getting a peek at what he's writing.
Okay. So the gates are open to you. You see the sun rising over the wasteland here, the zone. You know that the immediate area around the Ark, which is a massive hydro dam, is scrublands. It's like grassy, shitty scrublands. You all would know the buzz around the Hung Moose was that Hammurabi and his crew of people, like I said, they returned with that vehicle. They found water, but they know that the place has a terror bird and like several dozen zone ghouls that are inhabiting this place. So it's going to take some time to clear it out to be able to claim that water. You know that they went to the northeast to what they're calling the Pure Plant, and the place you're going is supposed to be the southwest. So you guys on Roll20, you can see there is a hex that is like a brown, like a copper little nut there. You guys can move that. That is the party token. So if one of you would like to be in charge of moving the party token, you guys can decide which hex you are moving to, and we'll go from there. So where do you guys want to go first?
Well, the first thing Hector does, because he just got told, hey, you're coming this way because we need somebody big. And Hector like, okay, I'm days off. So he goes up to Riven, pats his shoulder with a big heavy hand, and just looks down at him. Where go?
We should start with the northeast section of the map.
Northeast?
Hector looks down. Louder, you short.
Well, I'm saying go up and, maybe, no, correction, maybe southeast would be better. Or south. Yes, south.
Okay. So I will say, Riven, you have been deemed by the largest person to be the leader of the party. So click on that token and move it wherever you would like to.
Hector looks at Garrett. Me no think he knows where to go.
I trust a chronicler can navigate us.
You would
I
hope
wouldn't
so.
trust him. He is only a herald.
Just one at a time.
Just one at a time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it takes you about 4 hours to move through and thoroughly explore a hex. If you would like to not explore the hex and just push on through, you can do so in half the time, but you find nothing. And if there is some kind of encounter hidden there, you may happen upon it. So, how are you approaching this hex? You're moving downriver, southeast. How are you approaching this hex? Are you guys being stealthy as you move through this? Are you just like exploring as you go? Are you trying to find things? What are you guys doing?
Hector is definitely not stealthy.
Got it.
That's a little rough for him to do. In fact, you can oftentimes hear the blade of the axe dragging along the stone.
I dig it.
Garrett is definitely going to try and sneak. Just not let himself be seen.
Are you exploring this hex, or are you moving through as quickly as possible?
Do we know how far the metal men are roughly? So we have no idea.
You were told it is a few days away.
I don't think we should explore too thoroughly unless there's something really unique that we can sort of see in the area easily.
Okay.
I mean, I'm fairly tall, so I'll probably see it before anyone else except maybe Mac.
Sure. So you guys begin to explore this place. or you guys begin to move through this place. The only thing you see is there is like a ramshackled campsite here. There appears to be some kind of like lean-to made, and you can see what remains of a fireplace. You don't know of any people that were sent out recently. You don't know of any expeditions since Hammurabi and those guys went out. So this is a little strange, but that's what you guys can see as you kind of meander through this place. If you guys would like to investigate more, you can do so. The ground is kind of like thickets, a little bit of undergrowth, a little bit of brushy, but other than that, there's not a whole lot going on.
Kotan would definitely walk into that camp and start looking around.
Okay.
Yeah, Hector would as well.
Okay. If you guys
I
are
think
looking
Garrett
around,
wouldn't be far behind either, and he'll let Mac like sniff around, like see if he can find anything.
okay. Riven, what are you doing as well?
Oh, he'd be doing something similar, and then cataloging everything that he would be coming across.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so you guys begin to move your way over there. Could all of you roll me scouts?
Give me a second.
So it's base 4.
I believe it is agility plus...
Wits plus
Oh.
your skill.
Sorry, my roll 20 is freaking out. So,
0, 0, 0.
I kicked a rock.
So yeah, so you can push your roll if you'd like. So far there is no successes. Bill, yours hasn't rolled yet. So whenever your roll 20 works again.
yeah. Sorry, it's
All good.
So I keep the 1 and roll the other 4, correct? When I push it?
Yep, it does it automatically for you. So just hit the blue button if you'd like to push.
Where'd it go? Still nothing.
Still nothing. And you have no skills, right? Or you do have a skill.
Yeah.
So I believe you take 1 damage in your wits. You are down 1 wit point. Would anyone else like to push the roll? No?
I'm going to hold out.
Okay.
so what is scout again? Sorry to ask.
Scout is wits.
Okay.
So it should be wits plus scout.
Yeah, whatever your scout skill is, if you have
Scout
it.
is 0, so I'm just rolling 4 dice.
Go for it.
Poof.
Perfect. Okay, so you guys all begin to move through this hex. You begin to you beeline more or less for this little this campsite here. What you find is that there are some embers still smoldering in this makeshift fireplace. It looks like there wasn't like it was a hasty fireplace. There's no like stones or a ring around it. It's just like a pile of wood and underbrush. But it is still warm to the touch. It's still like smoldering a little bit. No actual flames. So you kind of believe this could have been recent. You also find in here in the lean-to, there is a hole, probably about 3 feet in diameter. And it goes down a good bit. Like it goes down enough where you can't actually see what is at the bottom of this thing. And next to the hole, you see a large piece of paper with unknown writing on it that you're not really sure what it is. And it looks to be like torn in half. And there appear to be 2 people and some kind of 2 ancients, right? They don't look like they're messed up at all. And it looks like there's some kind of like metal tube. You can kind of imagine the tube seems to have like windows on it, and it seems to be like depicted in the air, right? And on the back of this torn poster, there are like handprints, like painted almost handprints of varying sizes, and you can see like someone tried to write something. Upon further inspection, especially from Riven and Kotan, this looks like blood.
Regarding the language and everything, would you say that a comprehend roll could help me
Yes.
understand this better?
Yep, absolutely.
Would I be able to do that as well?
You would.
So I'm going to roll a 5, 5, let's see.
Hector's going to look at it over their shoulders.
Okay.
And he's-
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So, Kotan, you can read this, and apparently so can Hector, which no one expected. And Brahms, Riven, you can read it to anyone else, right? Like you can interpret this for Garrett. You can like show him what these words mean, right?
Yeah.
This.
I don't even think Garrett's gonna try. He's just gonna stay back with Mac and just let them like.
Yeah, makes sense. So for everyone that can read this poster, this is a poster for something you're not really sure what it is. Perhaps like an old age performance or something. But it's called War of the Worlds 2. They're back again. Is what the text says. On the back of it, there is handprints, and you can see, because I'll say for you, Riven, you can kind of make out the handprints on the back. You see that there's something that's tried to be painted here, and it looks like a massive, like, long creature with, like, sharp teeth, like a worm with sharp teeth. And you can see that, like, this was painted hastily in, like I said, what you think is blood. Perhaps a warning sign, you're not entirely sure.
He would look at it and say, clearly there's something amiss here, but we're going to have to press forward. This particular piece of information may prove useful. And he would proceed to actually sketch out the words and everything else in his journal and probably do a little hand-scrawled drawing of the poster.
You can take it with you.
And yeah, I think he would probably do that. Would he have one of those? Actually, he probably wouldn't have one of those. Never mind. So he would just fold up the poster and take it with him and then try to... Is the blood kind of viscous or is it...
Oh, no, it's
like,
completely dry.
dry? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like crusty, dried blood.
Okay.
So that's all you really see in this area. So if you guys would like to proceed, you guys can do so. Where would you like to go? Like I said, you know that it is southwest to where the metal men are believed to be. So you guys can kind of go wherever you'd like.
So I'm thinking here.
Just drag your party icon. Okay.
Hector sort of stops Riven and sort of taps him.
Yes.
East. West.
And then he realizes he's getting a bit off course because he's been paying too much attention to his journal. So he moves over to the hex going further west.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Okay, interesting. And I assume you guys are doing the same kind of thing. You're cautiously approaching this place. The biggest thing you can see here is there's a lot of like thick vines covering like ruins here. Like this looks like there's like you would assume like houses and small buildings. You do see that in the distance in this hex is a large like stone building, and coming out of the stone building are these like very high, like almost towers. They seem to be too small to be a tower, but they do go very high, and there's 3 of them in sequence, one and then a slightly shorter one and then a slightly shorter one. You also see that like in the blue sky, it's a pretty bright sunny day. You see that there are like flocks of birds just kind of circling around whatever this large building is.
And does this building look ancient?
Yeah. All of the buildings look ancient.
Yeah. Kotan's just heading right towards there.
No. Careful.
Come, follow my friend.
You know what those are?
We shall soon find out.
You idiot.
That was just James. It wasn't even Hector.
Yeah.
Garrett is petrified. He is quite a scary cat, and he's like furiously petting Mac. So he's like, unless you all are moving forward, unless Hector is moving with him, then he's probably not moving.
Okay.
Hector's sort of.
Yeah.
He's playing with a painted stone. One's got a red line and one's got a green line. And he's sort of seeing what's going on, and he's like, bookworm gonna get us killed.
God damn it.
I protect
Colors.
Garrett. And he pats Garrett on the head.
I imagine you have two separate stones, like one's a green stone and one's a red stone, and you just throw one of them up. Like, God, it's always green.
No, he's got one sort of. He picked it up like off the shoreline, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
sort of an oval sort of stone, so it never really flips like a coin would.
Yeah,
But it's the same sort of theory.
I like it. I like it. Okay. Here's what I need Riven to do. Since you lucked out and you've become the leader, I need you to roll me a threat. So in the bottom of your screen, you should see a threat button. Click on that, and it is a threat level 2. Okay.
That's
Okay.
good,
As far as you know.
right?
So,
right.
do you guys
I
proceed
don't.
towards this giant building, or do you skirt around it and move on with your journey?
Oh, Kotan's going right towards it.
What's the shape of the building?
Square.
Like a cylinder?
No, the building is like a long, squarish building, like stone. You can see some of the walls look dilapidated, but there are 3 of these cylindrical towers emerging from the top of it. One is one's the highest, then it's like a second highest, and then third highest, right? They kind of go like the bars on your cell phone, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it looks like a relatively square, flat roof. Looks like it could be stone, you would imagine.
Riven is like looking at those birds and just kind of not 100% sure this is a good idea.
They don't seem to be large birds. They just seem to be birds.
There's a lot of them.
There are a lot of them, yeah. There's like a flock of birds just sort of circling around this building.
I want to do a know the zone, just to try and figure out if I've seen those birds before while I've been out on guard duties and protecting different resource gatherers.
Sure. Go for it.
No idea.
Nope, you have no idea. They're birds, for sure. They fly right in the sky the whole time. They never land. They call them Neverland birds. Yeah, so that's what you know. You know there are... Thanks. You know that there are birds flying in a circle. They don't seem to be like... They're not like diving. They're not like being aggressive. They're just flying. The most awkward thing is that they're just continuously flying like around this building, right? Like nothing seems too nefarious about it, but that is what's happening. Do the rest of you follow Kotan, or is you just letting him die? I mean, go investigate and find all the cool things.
Hector looks to Riven. We go or we let Salamander Boy Eden?
You're muted, John.
You don't know I'm a salamander.
Riven would look up from his journal, look up at the birds, look back down to his journal, look back up at the birds, and then look at Hector. Looks back up at the birds, looks at Hector. I think we're going to bypass this area.
We can't just leave him.
Hector just sort of curses. Might be back, and he struts full stream like through the grass to grab Kotan by the back of the neck and pick him up and turn around and go back.
Listen, roll me a force, please. Yeah.
Over the shoulder, just carrying him like a spoiled child.
I hope this works and I don't break his
You
neck.
cur.
Because the other option is club him with the axe. And if that doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, you did it.
Kotan, are you... So you feel this, like, big, meaty paw just sort of grab you and start to pick you up. Are you fighting this?
No, I think he's more confused than anything. He's like, what are you doing?
Riven says no time. Go look for metal people.
But
And I carry him back.
So you are tossed over a giant shoulder and then stomped back towards everyone and then deposited back in your circle of allies, if not friends and allies.
I think as that's happening, Garrett's right behind him, like kind of striding.
For your own good, Kotan.
You do not understand what could be in that building. There's things
Not
that could be
metal
ancient.
people. Too close. We go. Maybe we look on the way back.
Yeah, we go later. Fine. Metal man first, and then to tower later.
And what if there's something that could help us in our journey?
What
The
if we die
foolish
in it?
travelers that went in before us, they came back with something that moved. What if we
Hector
find
looks down
that?
to Garrett. Little man starting to irritate. And he just sort of huffs his axe up on his shoulder.
So we would know they found that in the Pure Station, right?
They did,
mover?
yeah. That's not to say you guys in traveling. Granted, you guys haven't, right? Because you've never been out there. You've heard rumors of other people finding vehicles. It's very, very rare that they find one that functions or functions for long enough to go from place to place, right? So you've seen or heard of vehicles before. That was the first functional one you've ever seen. Yeah, so like you might be able to find one here. You have no idea until you investigate. You just know that the one they found was not found here.
The mover wasn't found anywhere near here. Let's focus on where we know in metal. The metal man.
And under his breath, Kotan is just like,
I'm surrounded by fools.
You're surrounded by a big man with axe.
Just under my breath, I'm shocked that you could hear me.
Will be surprised.
Good Lord. Your
Mac
ears,
is growling. If he, assuming because being a dog hiding senses, he probably heard a little bit of that, and it's like,
Yeah, he senses the aggression that's happening. I like it.
Riven would start moving forward. Every moment we tarry longer, we're losing daylight.
Hector starts to trudge along again. And he just taps Riven on the shoulder and leans down. Add map and come back later.
Mm-hmm.
Want
Riven.
big metal door for shield.
Riven marks it off. Riven marks it off as a area of interest.
Okay. So it has been about 8 hours of travel, right? It takes about 4 hours to go through a zone. So it's if you guys left at dawn, it's probably close to a little bit after midday, just so we're keeping track of what time it is here. So if you'd like to, Riven, please move your token wherever you'd like it to be.
I think he's going to move diagonally again, this time on a westward motion.
Hector gives a thumb up. And it's like a mangled thumb. You can tell it's been hit by something, probably a sledgehammer.
Okay. You all feel like a thick heaviness as you kind of move into this place. Everything like your body kind of like tingles and like the air smells and tastes a little different. I would like you to roll me a threat, Riven. It is a 4.
Oh, that's
no.
good. I like this. This is good, right?
You'll be fine. Okay.
Yay!
Okay. Cool. So the thing of note in this place is, first of all, this has higher rot level. The longer you stay here, the more rot you're going to get. This is a rot level 2 place, which means you suffer 1 rot point per hour staying in here, which means 4. Unless you run the hell out of here. What you do see here is a huge metal tube broken and crushed on the ground. It is scorched by fire, and the insides are rows of ancient seats from this vantage point where you guys are, all blackened by flames. Stretching away from the tube, the ground is scorched, and all of the houses and buildings around it are destroyed, as if the tube had crashed from the sky at some incredible speeds. What are you guys doing?
An ancient artifact that could hold many secrets.
Hector looks quickly to Mac, knowing that the dog should know something's off. If he feels something's off, the dog should definitely know something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mac is probably just like he is guarding Garrett, like right in front of him, like definitely trying to signal to him, like looking up at him, like don't go, like something's wrong, like don't go near it. Like when he makes a defensive stance in front of him, you know that he's hunkering down. He doesn't want to move, and he doesn't want Garrett to move either.
Hector hits Riven a little bit harder on the shoulder than he intends to. He's like, not safe. Leave now. Dog upset. Not good sign.
Unfortunately, we have to get out of here. Yes, I agree. Can we visibly see the rot there, Mike?
The rot? No. So think of the rot as like radiation, right? You notice that like the scrublands that you're in, they're like where there was like a little bit of vegetation, right? There's none.
Okay.
You see that like the ground has some discolorations. You taste this like coppery tinge in the air, right? It just feels different in this place.
Could I roll a know the zone just to test to see if he would know that there's a difference in the area?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Alrighty. That's just straight wits, right? Know the zone, yeah.
Yeah.
Wits plus your skill.
I have no skill in there, so.
Nope, you know nothing is wrong, other than what you can like feel.
Yes. So, Mac has an issue with this place. That means that there's something not right here. Regardless.
Waste time.
Yes, we can't waste time, not in here. Regardless of this metal artifact, and he quickly references the poster that has that metal tube on it. Is there any similarity to the metal tube versus the metal tube we see on the ground?
Yeah, you rolled a 2 on your comprehend when you were deciphering that image. Yeah, there is a very distinct similarity.
Okay,
I think as a reference, that Garrett's looking over your shoulder like, huh?
Hector's looking for the quickest way out.
Makes
he
sense.
would notice. Yeah, he would notice this. He would make reference to it and take note and probably scratch something in his journal regarding this particular piece of information, and then he would proceed to get the F out.
Okay.
You want a scout roll to see what the fastest way out would be,
Yes,
Mike?
please.
Oof.
Well, damn. Okay, cool. So you can quickly get out of this zone in 2 hours, or this sector in 2 hours, but it's going to be a noisy jaunt, right? If there's anything watching or here, it might see you, but you can quickly navigate. You can kind of like get a little bit of a vantage point and see what's going to be the most efficient way to get out of here. But like I said, it's going to be a bit noisy.
I think we should go ahead and proceed quickly and forget sneaking, forget stealth, get out just quickly, because we're going to end up taking rot anyway, and we're ill-equipped to deal with this right at this given moment.
Okay, Fan.
Hector's just like, this way, and just sort of books it. And he's trying not to fly because he knows he can get out faster, but he knows they can't.
Right. Yes. Perfect. Okay, cool.
Garrett will look down at Mac and just, we're gonna go, and we'll be running in tandem alongside Hector.
Got it. So everyone gains 2 rot points. And you must now roll a base dice 2. So basically just roll 2d6s for me.
Wait a minute. No, not permanent. Okay. Sorry, roll 2d6, he said?
Yep. So far, Bill, you're fine. Brahms, you're fine. Or Garrett and Riven, rather. James, you're fine. And last but not least, Kotan. Roll me 2d6s.
Yeah, let me do that.
Ooh,
Oh, boy.
You take a
Oh.
-1 to your strength pool.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't use that.
Yeah, you're just fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you have, and then on the bottom of your sheet there should be rot, and you can mark 2 of those little pips. And for you, like I said, Kotan, you have a -1 to your strength.
So that's all of us mark it?
All of you mark 2, and Kotan mark the -1. What is your strength, Kotan?
I have 2 strength now.
Now, okay, cool. If anyone drops to 0 on anything, let me know. That'll be fun. Now, the fun part about this game is when you lose your attribute points. That's your health pool. So you can lose them by taking rot damage. You can lose them by taking damage. You can lose them by mental effects. That affects your rolls. So now, if you were to roll strength or some kind of strength-based thing, Kotan, you would roll at 1 less. You would roll at 2 instead of 3, as per normal. So the more damage you take, the harder it gets to do things.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't have
I'm
any.
screwing up my wisdom then.
That's okay.
Or my wits.
That's all right. So you guys proceed as quickly as possible, unaware if something has been watching you. If we had a ancient clock with us, it's about 6 p.m. The sun is starting to move through the sky. It is spring, so the days are a bit longer, but the sun is beginning to move through the sky. Actually, sorry, it's about 4 p.m. because you quickly got out of there. So, Riven, where are you guys going next? Actually, you know what? I'm going to change that. Hector, you rolled. Where are you going next, since you booked it out of there?
Can Hector see anything in the horizon?
Not from where you are, and not at the speed
Okay.
in which you're trekking through.
Okay. Tube came down that way. So Hector would lead us away and around.
Okay. So drag that icon.
I did, I think.
Perfect.
Yep.
You sure did.
It did.
Cool. Go ahead and roll me a threat of 3. You're fine. These are low numbers, guys. You don't even have to worry about these. These are just regular things. Interesting. Okay. These are just words I like to say that have no bearing. Don't worry about those.
You liar, I watched the other show.
What?
I didn't.
I don't know what you're even saying right now. That's just... It's just rude. So this place, so you noticed that in the previous ruins there were, or the previous, like, whatever that crashed tube was, right? It was a lot of vines, though they were like a lot of them were like dead, dried up vines. The weird feeling you felt, like that weird tinge in the air and like the uncomfortable ache in your bones, it seems to have gone away. Whatever was over there, you're not sure what was causing that level of contamination, but there it was. As you begin to break through this area, the first thing you notice, Hector, is like darkening clouds on the horizon, and running into this area, you begin to become wet as the rain is falling. It's not a like torrential rain; it's just an inconvenient spring rain. Makes the ground a little bit muddier, makes you guys want to be outside a little bit less. And you notice that there is a lot more vines. Like you saw the vines in the previous sector, and there's even more here. You also see in the distance a large, again, flat-topped rectangular building upon which there's this massive. You imagine it might have been white at one point, but this yellowing sign that seems to be smashed in a few places with text you're not really sure what it is. And you see that on this building, there's this white sign. There's red letters, or what used to be red letters. You see one of them is like crooked and fallen down, and you see that there's markings on the walls as if someone like wrote something or carved it. You're not really sure from the distance at which you are, but you do see a small group of birds fly around and then land on this building.
These birds look the same as the previous
They
ones?
look the same size. They don't look like massive like terror birds or anything like that. They look just like regular birds from where you guys can see.
Okay.
Could I try to roll? I have like nothing in comprehend, but can I try to roll like wits or anything to see if I can read what the letters are?
You would have to get closer.
Hector looks around. He's not happy about the rain. Looks to Garrett. Can Mac find if there bad things in building? We need cover.
If I get close, we can try. I will try. Since it's a sneak, I'll try to get forward.
And can I roll a sneak to try and get to the building, hopefully without being noticed by something?
Yeah, roll me a sneak.
So my base dice is agility, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Agility is 5. Oh. And I have a 3 in sneak.
Yep. So base 5, and then sneak is 3, and then 0 for gear. You succeed. Cool. So you and Mac are going?
Yeah, we're going to try and get close to see if Mac can hear or sense or understand anything.
Okay. And Kotan, Riven, and Hector, you guys are staying kind of back where you were. Is that correct?
Yeah, Hector's back, kind of crouched, just sort of watching. And did I get a mutant point for screwing up that push earlier?
You
did.
should have.
Yes.
Okay, I forgot to mark that down.
As we get up,
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
So what are the three of you guys doing? Just sort of hanging out back there? For now?
For now.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing anyway.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, Garrett, you...
Hector's just ready to charge in if something happens to Garrett.
Okay. So, Garrett, you and Mac sort of crouch low. You're moving carefully through these vines as you get within close range of whatever this building is. Now, excuse me. Once you get up there, what are you trying to do?
When we get up to the building, I'll probably find a hiding space nearby, look right at Mac. Point. Kind of let him move a little bit, sneak a little bit forward, and I'll even try to point to my ear and nose to see if, trying to signal do you hear or smell anything?
Okay. So what you can do, because you're a dog handler, you can use your dog to scout. I believe what that means is you use your wits plus the skill Sick a Dog, and you can have Mac scout for you.
Perfect. So my wits is 4, and Sick a Dog is actually 4 for me. So 8, 0 gear.
It would be 3. The highest, at level 1, the highest skill you can have is 3.
Did I do that wrong?
Yeah, 3 is the highest you can go at level 1.
I'll fix that. So
it'd be 4 in wits and 3 in Sick a Dog.
I'll fix that later.
Yeah, no worries.
So submit. Oh crap.
Okay, so Mac begins to, crouch and prowl his way towards the cinema, and you see him as he's like sniffing around this kind of place looking for something. You see his head down, ass up, as he's sniffing and trying to find something. And he stops and turns back to you, and you just see him like wag. And you know that that's like a symbol of he's found nothing. Like he finds no threat here.
And I'll like...
He looks, and you see that like he's looking at like a door, and he looks back to you, and then back to the door, and then back to you, door, and then he crouches and walks back. You see like the tail go down, and he begins to slowly pad his way back to you over the vines, under the vines.
And when he gets back, I'm like scruffing him, like under his... Good boy.
So Hector's going to move up.
Okay, so yeah, you get the signal from Garrett that this place is safe.
Yeah, he's going to clear a path. So
And Riven moves in
Okay.
as well.
And Kotan, do you move in as well? Okay.
Yeah, he moves in.
Cool. So you guys pick your way through the vines, the underbrush. It's fairly easy to get through once you're just going to go a little bit slower. And you are able to make your way up to Garrett. What you guys see is a long stone building. It's fairly long. And you can assume, I mean, if you guys kind of look around and move around this thing, it goes deep, right? You see there is a large white, or was white, now it is like yellowed and disgusting sign that is smashed to pieces. You see like chunks of whatever substance the sign was made out of. And then you see letters are like, you know, fallen to pieces, and like some kind of signage was on the front of this place, like some kind of like a title or the name of this location. That's what you guys see, and the set of doors that open in. You imagine they might have been glass doors, but they seem to be shattered at this point, and they just lead into darkness.
Could I do a comprehend and try to piece together the sign?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Yep. Anyone who wants to comprehend, you may.
Okay.
And wit, and that's wits, right?
It is wits. Yep.
Right.
No, Hector doesn't get it this time. His head hurts.
That's fair.
Gary doesn't know either.
I'm going to give it a shot. So 4 wits and so 4.
Hey, someone got it.
There we go.
Okay. And so everyone else fails except for Riven. Okay. Interesting. Riven, you have heard of this place before. In fact, as you're looking at this place and you kind of like flip back through your notes, the sign reads, and you're sure that it was probably rearranged, right? But it reads Skin Den. That's what it reads.
Okay.
You've heard of this place. Stalkers have said to avoid this place at night is the biggest recommendation. That's what you have in your notes. Avoid at night.
And the time of day is what?
It is
6?
now. It is now going right
Like
towards
5?
nighttime. Yeah, you're looking probably at like a good 8 o'clock right now.
Yeah, so I'm looking at my journal and I'm according to my notes, this area is to be avoided. Stalkers have said that this place is not one that is a place we want to be at night time.
What is
Otherwise,
this place?
Garrett looks up at the sun.
It's not now. Then move.
And he's going to start.
You do
He's gonna
know that it is about to be nightfall, or nightfall already, and that it is believed to be sheer suicide to travel through the zone at night for fear of zone ghouls.
Well, the minute that Garrett thinks that zone goes, he's like,
Rock and hard place.
Mm-hmm.
Hector no like.
Well, we might as well go in, and it is better to have shelter than be torn apart.
Not if things that tear you apart come out of shelter. You dumb.
So we're fucked, essentially. What do you
No.
want to do, Hector?
We find other shelter.
By traveling in the night? That is suicide.
Suicide either way. You like Hector kill you now. Then you no get suicide. Then you get killed.
That is true. That is a possibility, yes.
No,
Could I
killing either people. Take care of each other.
Hector no like dumb bookworm.
Kotan no like Hector.
Good. We agree.
We don't have to like each other. Just try to survive. Take care.
Hector stops and looks at Riven. To danger zone that way. We come round. That way should be back on track. We can take risk, travel by no light, and hope no zone goals. And hope new shelter. We go here. Stalker's warned about that bad. May as well slap zone ghoul.
So, Mike, how many people have lived traveling through the night?
Well, those 4 are dead now.
How was
So-
the 4 that died?
Yeah, so you know that you don't have a number on how many have lived. You know that all of the oldest stalkers recommend against it, right? So like the most traveled people recommend you do not do it.
And we're
It's not-
noobs, essentially.
Yeah. It's not unheard of. It's just, there's things that go bump in the day, and there's way more things that go bump in the night. And they bump more aggressively.
So it's bad to travel during the night.
Yeah.
here's the trouble Riven is having with his old stalker mentor that had been pushing for him to join their faction. The problem is I think he would literally go against the recommendation of the stalkers, but the problem is, what do the rest of the group want to do? Because the problem is he'd be wrestling with that idea in his head going, well, if we go, I can show the old man up, and then I would be able to gloat to him that we survived the night.
Yes, but we will probably die.
Oh, that was internal.
Oh, that was
that was an internal monologue. Him thinking that that he would be able to do that to his old mentor. What do you guys think we should do?
That is a good question. This place looks like it's defensible. I mean, if it's safe, and it will protect you from night, right? It is a building. As far as you can tell, there's no like holes in the walls and things like that. You'd be safe here.
Hector obviously doesn't like this plan, and he's still wondering why we're not moving.
Okay. What is Kotan and Garrett doing?
Sorry, muted. I think Garrett thinks for a second.
It's not yet. What if we go in now? Whatever it is, we should jump it. We would have the shelter for the night and maybe a prize for the Ark.
I agree. We could set traps and ambush. Kill them when they go inside.
Hector looks at Kotan and Riven and Garrett. None of you gearhead. How you gonna make trap? You just sort of see Hector go like this, and he scratches at the claw mark. And he takes the hockey mask off, and he's like, all right, gents, I've just about had a fucking enough of this. You're going to smarten right the hell up, and we're going to get the fuck out of here, or I'm going to lose my temper. And if you tell anyone I can talk, I'll fucking bash your skulls. Is that clear?
Can we?
Garrett, this is how you remember Hector talking before the accident.
Right. That's what I was thinking about. Was would he have?
You.
And he's looking around everyone.
Well, we could risk it.
You've put me in a difficult position.
If a stalker's not brave enough to do it, it's a batshit crazy idea, and it's a suicide mission. Stalkers don't comprehend what fear is, and if they won't do it, that's fucking bad. You guys read books. You should understand this shit. I shouldn't have to tell you. I should be allowed to remain dumb.
Remain dumb, then.
Then stop
That's
making
fine.
stupid fucking ideas.
But what are we going to do? If we go in there, we die. If we go out here, we die.
Not necessarily.
The night will cover our tracks because they can't see us as well. They have to rely off their senses of smell. If we go in there, we're in a box. There's no way out. Whatever comes in or is already in there will already have us.
Yes, I agree with
Do you
that.
go sit in a bear trap? No, you don't. You set the
But what
bear
if there are
trap and you
50
come back to it.
bears? But what if there are
Question.
50 bears outside waiting to kill us?
Question for
But
Riven.
there's not.
But there is.
Did you share with us
I'm gonna
what
kill him.
the sign said? Out of curiosity.
Oh yes, he would have. I mean, the thing is, he would have referenced his notes, and he would have told you all what the actual sign had said.
Do you know what a skin den is?
One would assume a den full of skin.
I'm
One
leaving.
would assume.
I can scout. I can scout with Mac. I suppose if we leave, he could tell us if ghouls are coming, and if he doesn't kill them before they get near us.
Can he do it quickly? Otherwise, we need to get out of here. Now.
Quick, I don't know. He's not. I don't know.
Okay.
We've got to go. Now. We can't be lingering. The problem is that... Yes, it might be a good idea to stay here the night. However, I'm going to suggest that we leave.
Garrett's not even listening. He's like, go. And just, we're making our way, like, wherever, like, I guess heading more further southwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kotan will follow.
Be like, well, let us hope that we do not get killed by bears.
Okay. Who is leading now?
Garrett.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm the one who took off
Okay.
first, so.
Then in that case, Garrett, move that party icon wherever you would like it to go.
I'm going to regret this. Just further, I guess, further where he thinks the goal is.
Okay. You move further where you think the goal is.
So further, like, south or southwest.
Well, you definitely just move southeast.
That's southeast.
That was southeast.
Scratch that.
I did the same
Because-
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mac went running the other way.
Okay. It is now about 10 p.m. It is dark. I need you, Garrett, to roll me a threat roll clicking the threat button, and the dice number is 8.
Oh God. Is that good or bad?
It should be bad. I don't know why it didn't pop up that way. It is bad. Oh, I know why. So, cool. Good stuff. Good.
Something I do,
great.
or
What's that?
something I do, or
Nope, nothing you do. You're fine. Something I do, which is great. Great, no problem. No problem at all for you. Oh, no. Okay.
I hate not watching on Twitch.
Cool. So you're more or less being led by Mac right now because none of you can see, right? So you're kind of stumbling through this place, and for whatever reason, like the vines have not stopped, right? They're thick, and the further you're going, the thicker they're getting, right? That rain that was sort of like pattering down earlier is now full blown, like it's pouring out right now. It is. You're getting waterlogged. It's difficult to move through these vines. It's heavy. You guys are tired. You're pushing towards like midnight right now, and then you hear like this clap of thunder, and lightning just streaks through the sky. And you can see that you're in a place where there's like ruins of all kinds of just like dilapidated buildings around you, like roofs torn off. This looks like, and the vines are like puncturing through the walls of these houses. No place looks like it provides shelter really here at all. What you see, though, through these flashes of lightning, is there is a small, like, hut that appears to be made recently. Not recently, like today, right? But it's not like these dilapidated buildings. It looks like someone has grabbed chunks of these buildings and, like, put them together to make some sort of cohesive tiny house, essentially. And you hear more thunder, more lightning, more thunderclaps, more lightning. And I need everyone to make me a scout. Garrett, you can use Sick a Dog instead if you'd like.
okay. And that's wits plus like a dog.
No idea.
Yep. That is wits.
3.
Okay.
And,
Hector's too busy trying to shelter Garrett.
well,
Damn. Okay. Cool.
Mac picked us something this time.
Mac is doing it today. Let's see what exactly Mac is doing. So we're using Scout here. So let's see. So Kotan, you see what I'm about to say. The rest of you, Brahms, you get to ask me an additional thing, whereas Garrett, you get to ask me 2 additional things. Some suggestions for that are: is this thing coming for me? Are there more of them? How do I get away from it? You can kind of ask a question based on what I'm about to tell you. What I tell you is that you hear thunderclap, lightning, thunderclap, lightning, thunderclap, lightning, thunderclap, 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 lightning. You're pretty sure that some of those thunderclaps might not have been thunder.
Well,
Now,
shit.
Riven and Garrett, you have some questions you may ask. That's a tough one.
Is this thing close?
Yes. Garrett, you have 2 questions you can ask.
Oh, how do we get away from it?
Run. You have 1 more.
Can I take party suggestions?
Yeah, you can take party suggestions. Yep.
Guys, any ideas?
We don't even know what it is, so we could go with that.
That's what I was going to suggest. What is it?
Any idea what it is?
It sounds a lot like the noise that Hammurabi's vehicle made. But more than one.
Oh, more than one. Well, I think Hush, or not even that, Garrett's just gonna silently, like he does with Mac, like move, like trying to tell him like keep moving.
Okay. I want to do a quick comprehend zone
Yeah,
and
no,
try
so-
and figure out these vines. Like, what would happen if I started cutting them?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I will say if you get if you get 2 successes, you can ask about the vehicle noises as well.
Okay. Alright, because I'm damaged. Nope, no idea.
Nope, you have no idea. Yeah, so I mean, the vines, they look like just to be vines, right? They're not like malicious, they're just like large, sometimes thorny vines. Sometimes like there's leaves growing on them. They look relatively mundane as far as you can see. There's no flowers budding on them or anything like that.
Do these vines go up to like trees or?
No, they just sort of like flow around and through. Like if you know what kudzu is, it's kind of like kudzu but thicker.
So Hector is taking care not to break the vines because he doesn't know what they're attached to.
Sure.
He's heard stories through the union. There's some plants that attack you and some plants that don't. So he's actually using the axe butt to actually shift them out of the way, as opposed to using the axe blade.
Garrett and Mac are just bobbing and weaving.
Okay. So, are you guys trying to get out of here as quickly as possible?
Garrett is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Riven would be trying to get out as quickly as possible as well.
So the sound is obvious.
Oh yeah.
And even though I failed to scout, could I tell if it was directly ahead of us or off to one of the sides?
That's the hard part, right? Is it sounds like because of the storm and because of the thunder, it's hard to discern which one is that noise and which one is the thunder. Like they kind of blend together, and because of the way the rain is echoing through these ruins, it sounds like it's kind of coming from all around you. If you'd like to attempt to try to discern where that's coming from, you can roll me a scout.
Okay.
Could I get in on that?
Sure. Yeah, and you can use Sick a Dog as well.
Yeah, use your Sick a Dog because that's better than my scout now. Oh, I got 1.
You got 1.
I got nothing. Wait, how did I only roll 3?
You got 1.
You got 1.
That was John's.
That was John.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
okay.
The two of you, so Hector and Mac, you are like, you're quickly kind of moving things away, trying to make a path for everybody. And you can hear that the noise is coming from the northwest of you. So not the direction you want to go in, but kind of the direction you came from.
So it's kind of coming behind us.
It's coming from behind you, yeah.
Ah, shit.
So kind of like then.
Kind of like from the skin den, yeah.
And it's coming at us, so it's not
You
like
think so,
we
yeah.
don't... Yeah.
You can hear the noise, and you know it's coming from behind you. Whether it's coming at you specifically, you're not sure. It could be moving right past you. You don't even know.
Let's try... Garrett, what do you think? Like, diagonal southwest? Or just straight west?
Go straight. I would say straight west.
straight west, see if it passes us. And that would be like Garrett, like thinking quickly, like west, and just make a quick like turn, like almost like a football like juke that way.
Okay. I dig it.
On the other hand, I move more like a linebacker. Defensive end.
I move more like Tariq when running back, so fast.
Is there a path that we could find that's a little bumpier so vehicles would have a hard time going over it?
You can try.
Or is it all... Okay.
You can try to do that. So you want to
That's
going to
slow us down, though, wouldn't it?
It will slow you down, yeah.
Yeah, but it would slow them down as well.
Probably not.
Well,
Depends. I mean, if they're in a vehicle, they might be able to just plow through.
Yeah, I mean,
it depends
the
on
four of us, the only vehicle we've seen, at least the only vehicle Hector's seen, he's seen two. He's seen what Had brought back and a go-kart.
Yeah.
And they're very different.
Yeah. So it's
Sarah's
like...
only heard of vehicles, so...
Yeah. It's literally like a flip of a coin. Either it can go through rough terrain and we're just fucking ourselves, or it can catch up to us no problem either way.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it's bigger than we are, so we
Yeah.
gotta move.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll take point, and we'll go west and try
Okay.
and get out of the line of fire.
Cool. I need everyone to mark confusion. I'm sorry, mark sleepless on your sheet under traumas.
We've been going too long.
Under traumas.
Okay.
You have been traveling for 19 hours straight without any sleep. So yeah, it is. You are all sleepless. What that means is nothing for now. The more days you consistently go without sleep, you'll take damage. And if you are confused, you cannot recover from confusion until such time where you sleep. That being said, you all need to eat at some point soon. Eat and drink. So you're going due west. Okay.
Sorry, where's traumas?
I've already
It
moved
should
the
be
marker.
on the left side of the
It's under
character sheet.
Conditions.
Conditions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You move the guy left. Okay, fantastic. As you begin to run through this place, I'll have you, Hector, make me a move check. This will be like a group move.
Okay. So because of me, I can use my strength instead of agility.
Sure.
So. Did I get a plus to that because of the wings?
I don't think so, unless you spend a mutation point.
Let me check that real quick because I might spend it here. No, I can't do anything to help the party.
Okay.
I
Okay.
can't see what I got.
You got a 0. No successes, but that's okay. That was just to see how things go for you. So you begin to move through. As you're moving through the zone, you feel that sickening feeling again that you felt near the metal tube. Something is like different here as well. Mechanically, this is a rot level 2 area.
Again.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
good fun times, guys. Don't worry, they're all over the zone. Oh, good. Okay, cool. So what you see here is there are, you see the vines that you were sort of traipsing around. Hector, you were very concerned with the vines before, so you're kind of attentive to them as you begin to move your way through here. And you see that there are flowers now budding on all of these things. The flowers like sort of unfurl, and they're large. They're probably the size of what we would know as like a dinner plate, these flowers. And they're very, very vibrant, like bright primary colors.
good.
Like they're very bright, and they kind of draw the eye to them, right? You also hear like a deep bellowing noise just permeating around here. Like the sound of like, you know, like the sound like a bridge makes when it like sways in the breeze, like that kind of thing, right? And I need you to make me a threat check, which is going to be an 8.
Okay. Let me cancel that because I wanted to do a comprehend or know the zone. But I'll do that after. Threat 8, you said.
I did.
That good?
That's not bad. Interesting. And not bad. Okay. Okay. Cool. So... okay. Dope. So I think what we're going to do is on that suspenseful note of a threat appearing in the zone, we're going to take our first break. So guys, stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back to the second half of this show, which I'm sure everyone will make it out alive. As a reminder, guys, if you want to be part of this game, this is our West Marches game. It is for Twitch subscribers. It is for patrons at the $5 level. And if you want to fuck with the players here, you can do so in a number of ways. If you look down in our description or our donations down there, you can kind of pick more or less any of those and go for it. Also, whoever defeats the Bit Boss gets to decide one faction, and everyone from that faction gains a plus D6 to all of their rolls until such time as someone else defeats the Bit Boss. No,
Lost.
no, Kotan, you cannot defeat the Bit Boss yourself. Just for the record. Yeah, so if you guys defeat the Bit Boss, you get to claim one of the factions as the faction leader, and everyone from that faction gains a bonus to all their dice. So guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Take a quick little break, and we will see you on the other side of whatever's going to happen to these guys.